Afraid I'm gonna become this big mass of pain that just lays in my bed all.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you are sleeping.
TLC, My 600-Pound Life has been documenting the lives of morbidly obese people since 2012 following their struggles before, during, and after potentially life-saving gastric bypass surgery. While on the other hand, some of them are highly motivated to change their lifestyles, and others have been seen having much harder time following the rules of the weight loss program. But in today's video, we will be looking at the most outlandish and bizarre obese women to ever appear in My 600-Pound Life. Let's roll! Penny Sager. Regardless of their potentially life-threatening situation, it's never easy for obese patients to transform your life completely, but some people have featured who seemed unwilling to even try their efforts. During her episode on the show, which aired in early 2014, Penny Sager was one of these people who only lost 35 pounds instead of losing much more. However, when Penny did get her gastric bypass surgery, she didn't manage to lose much more of her weight. In fact, she started gaining weight and gained up to 5 pounds. After that, eventually she decided to leave Houston by quitting the program, going all against Dr. Now's medical advice. In fact, due to her such pathetic behavior and problematic nature, the famous bariatric surgeon Dr. Now even called her medical situation unfortunate and, in fact, noted that since she went back home to Maryland, where she can be in control of her food, Penny didn't seem to transform her lifestyle. Not just that, Dr. Now also didn't hold back or mince his words while saying in her follow-up episode that her food addiction will eventually kill her. Fans of the show even believe that her weight loss journey is not going very well, since Penny isn't very active on social media. After her episode filming wrapped, there were some reports that say that she managed to lose more than 200 pounds. In 2018, Penny's husband shared a couple of photos of his wife, despite looking happier than she ever did well on the show. Not just that, her weight appears unchanged, and even she was seen wearing a nasal aspirator. Mercedes Cephas. Most of the people who appeared on the show have gone through or suffered a quite worst in their life. Most have experienced quite tragic childhood traumas which made them overeat so they could cope with their pathetic feelings and experiences. Mercedes Cephas, who came on the season 7, was raped repeatedly by her father, and all that started when she was just 11 years old. By the way, when she appeared on the show, Cephas was weighing an unbelievable 773 pounds and even said that she finally made up her mind to change her life, and since then, she started losing weight. Due to her excessive weight, Cephas had to rely on her young children so they could take care of her, as she was totally immobile and unable to move around her house. In fact, she was also struggling with a painful case of severe lymphedema, which made things totally worse. However, she stated that in order to be able to live a normal life, she wanted to lose weight. But during the episode, she didn't manage to meet Dr. Now's goals, and by the end of the year, she also hadn't managed to qualify for gastric surgery. Just because she had only lost 80 pounds due to her constantly lying, whining, and making excuses by showing lack of progress. In fact, she eventually left Houston, and now she is living in Cincinnati, Ohio, according to her social media. She even started a GoFundMe page earlier this year so she could raise money for her weight loss surgery. But the thing is, she only managed to raise $175 instead of raising $10,000 to meet her goal. So, it looks pretty like she still hasn't really managed to make any sort of progress. Holly Hager. We met 38-year-old Holly in season 7 of the show, who weighed over 600 pounds. Since she could remember, she had been overweight, and since her teen years, due to her obesity, she had been struggling with depression after being raped at the age of 16. 30 years old, Holly weighed around 600 pounds and decided to get her stomach stable to change her life around. Within the next 2 years, however, she managed to get down to 398 pounds, and she then started eating more again and again, and therefore, she busted the staples and got back to 500 pounds within a year. Now this nearly 40 years old Holly weighed around 658 pounds, and she had to start her weight loss journey all over again. to deal with her emotional issues. She fortunately also went to see a therapist this time. So, it was obvious that she has higher chances of being successful in the long run this time around. Well, by the next meeting, she and her fiancé Ray arrived days late again, and she only has lost 29 pounds. But after moving to Houston for her second chance, she made things highly worse because both were seen still getting delivery of junk foods, and their excuse was not having a kitchen set up to cook. But it is a very absurd and nonsense excuse. At her second follow-up appointment, it was revealed that Holly has lost 18 pounds and blamed her inescapable obsessive thoughts. Janine Mueller. Season 6 contestant Janine Mueller, who is certainly known as one of the more challenging patients which Dr. Noun has dealt with over the years. By the way, at the beginning of the episode, this 53-year-old woman weighed a whopping 678 pounds and was eating junk food pretty much all day every day. She would constantly be seen arguing with Dr. Now in her episode and even lied to him related to her eating habits and exercise. Instead of a pound per day, she only lost pounds per week as he had told her to do. Well, do you know, when Janine took her motorized scooter to go to a drive-thru despite feeling like being part of a freak show, so she could order a 20-piece chicken nugget meal while not being able to withstand temptation, is one of the most memorable moments of the episode. Liz Evans. When the native of Texas, Liz Evans appeared in My 600-Pound Life, she had been suffering from severe lymphedema on her legs, and therefore she had been bedridden for more than a decade. Despite all that, she still managed to lose more than 350 pounds, which means nearly half of her body. But things went wrong when she got back home, as she started binging on pizza and fast food. Therefore, she gained almost 50 pounds. Later, she was readmitted to the hospital to be monitored again because of her binge eating, and at the hospital she finally managed to lose enough weight to be approved for gastric bypass surgery. By the way, at the end of Evans' episode, it was revealed by TLC that Liz has started seeing a therapist. TLC also updated viewers that she has taken a few steps in the right direction. However, viewers also found out in an update episode of My 600-Pound Life, Where Are They Now?, that Liz was still struggling with the trauma. Actually, when she was 6 years old, she was molested by a family friend, and that old tragedy was threatening her progress. It's very hard to tell, as Evan isn't on social media, whether or not she managed to stay on the healthy path or she started following her bad old habits again. Lisa Fleming. When we first met Lisa Fleming in Season 6, this 49-year-old woman was bedridden and weighed around 740 pounds. As she couldn't even sit up anymore due to her oversized body, her daughter Danielle and boyfriend Herbert had to do everything for her. Lisa finally started realizing how bad things were when her daughter Danielle then found maggots in her mother's leg. Then she contacted the famous bariatric surgeon Dr. Now, who advised her that she needed to make a change right away. Otherwise, she wouldn't survive the year. However, according to Lisa, she struggled a lot in her weight loss surgery, and the surgeon continued to make her feel like she didn't even try, which mainly caused Lisa to have a meltdown and screaming fit. Well, when her boyfriend snuck food into the hospital, Dr. Now kept telling them that her time was up if she didn't make changes now. He even sent Lisa to psychotherapy and also sent over a nutritionist. But even though having all that and having the support of her family, Lisa didn't change her eating habits and just kept crying, saying that she couldn't control herself, especially when Dr. Now accused her of lying. After that, she gave a quite dramatic performance, eventually by telling him that she wanted to die. This performance of her prompted the hospital staff to do a full psychiatric evaluation on her so they could find out about her situation. And guess what? She had just tried to manipulate them again, therefore, she got herself kicked out of the program. Joyce Dell. Joyce Dell likely never realized that she'd be monitored so closely when she decided to participate in the show. At one point, she was denied surgery because rather than losing weight, she had gained 11 pounds. Dr. Now was optimistic about Joyce's weight loss, but he also wanted to see if she would continue to lose weight, after she was discharged from the hospital, or in fact, wanted to know whether or not she's taking care of herself on her own. He eventually also advised her to come back to the hospital so she could get her weight checked, and also refused to offer her medical transport. Joyce thought that she would not be able to make it, so she missed her appointment. But Joyce finally made it to the hospital on her own, 2 days after her conversation with Dr. Now. When she got up on the scale, it was revealed that she weighed 611 pounds, having gained 58 pounds since she left the hospital. But she was seen assuring Dr. Now that she was following the diet and exercise plan that he had given her. She even tried to justify her weight gain by saying that it's nothing but might be the water weight. But Dr. Now refused to buy this statement of her by saying that wasn't realistic. After hearing all this, Joyce decided to fake a heart attack to get out of the situation, which left fans and the doctors worried about her health. But ultimately, it was uncovered that she was faking the heart attack completely. Well, that's all guys for today. With the most bizarre obese women on my 600-pound life. Thanks for watching the video.